Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Trailmaker series. Today we could say the sky's the limit. That might be an adequate hint to drop. So with that thought in mind, maybe pack a parachute for today's episode. So yeah, let's get things underway. Alright, we start off with this balloon recipe. We're given, or this blueprint, sorry, I've been talking recipes all afternoon. This balloon blueprint, God, I can't do words today, I tell you, that we were given by Master Sappo, because he doesn't trust us to make a plane. Well, yeah, we'll deal with planes at a later date, but this balloon blueprint has some needs for thrusters. Now, the thrusters needed some of the mushroomy power thingies that we get from this particular area of the swamp. Now, it took me a while to get enough of them to complete this balloon setup. So I've chopped all of that. That was, I don't know, 30 minutes or so of me running around collecting all the ones I could find and then some. And then I came back in and collected a few more, and now we've got enough to make our balloon. It's probably my own fault I didn't have enough, because I have a feeling I've used them as hand-ins for a couple of the settlements. That, and I wasn't really actively gathering them because they're quite hard to see. They're like little black mushroom things, and they do tend to merge into the background in this murky, swampy type stuff. Anyway, long story short, we've made it a short story in the fact that you don't have to sit through all of that gathering nonsense, and you get to see the finished product. Well, this is the finished product. And essentially, it's a delicate little piece of kit. It's got 4 balloons on it, and you control the inflation with, I don't remember what the hotkeys were, but you have to be a bit careful with the inflation. You can't just blow it up to max, because you'll go rocketing up into the sky, and by the flip side of it is, if you don't have enough in there and you're already in the sky, you'll start falling out of the sky. So it's a little bit of a delicate maneuvery type thing, and because it's all delicate and maneuvery, it's slow as a wet week and a wet weekend and the month following all of that, and then some. So yeah, I've sped up this and a lot of our other journeys. Yeah, sped them up heaps, so you don't have to sit through the arduous journey that I had to sit through, and you're welcome. Anyway, while we're up in the air here, I did happen to notice a couple of glowies that were going to be flying over anyway, so I thought, yeah, we'll give these a look. And sure enough, the glowy thing itself didn't yield anything here, but it did indicate that there's one of these little chesty things here, so we're going to swoop down very gently and collect that while we're on our way. There didn't seem to be another chest over by the other light. I think that would be a little bit too close together, but as we, once we get a decent flyer, and no, this is definitely not my definition of a decent flyer. It's decent in the sense it doesn't fall out of the sky, but that's pretty much where the correlation with that description ends. But when I get a decent flyer worked out, I'm going to go around the map and try and pick up as many of these sort of glowy chests as I can. For the moment, I'm just picking up the ones as I see them. Now, we are motoring along here, and we are heading for Skytree, or Skytrees, I can't remember. Skytrees, there you go, it's in the top right hand corner of the screen, Rob, you can read. And we're almost there, so we're going to attempt a touchdown as delicately as we can manage, And then we'll go and check in with our usual array of Froggits to see what, what interesting things they may need us to do now. Yes, this place is a bit of a pretty sort of a, place to hang out. Yeah, it's very high in the sky. It has a wonderful view, and it looks a little worse for wear, but I'm sure that will improve as we spend more time here and help the Froggits out. For the moment though, we have to go for some reason to over here to talk to the same guy that we were just talking to. So yeah, not sure what up with that. Alright, so there's some lost researchers that need help. Well, of all the different things that we could possibly be told that we need to help with, that's definitely one of them. And there we go, on camera, yet another instance where my creation wanted to see my doom, and indeed actually hang around to watch. So yeah, thanks for that. Anyway, we are loading up in our balloon here. We're not making any real changes because it's just telling us to go and check on some Froggits. So I imagine somewhere over in that murk there'll be a camp of Froggits somewhere, and we're not probably going to need anything particularly sophisticated to get to them. So we're just going to hang with our balloon. Yeah, it's not quick, but it does get us from point A to point B. Alright, here is our little research camp and the Froggits therein. Yeah, look, I'm not looking for top marks for that landing, but look, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Walking away from this creation, though, is a pain in the bottom. Because when you jump out, if you don't kind of jump immediately, you kind of get stuck. And it took me 3 goes to get out that time. But anyway, we are here, and the researchers are, yep, they're seeing some more Botnaks, but of course, oh, yep, our lovely need to pick up Botnaks supply caches. You think the Froggits had learned by now, wouldn't you? But anyway, maybe we should be less successful with picking these things up, then that might discourage them from asking again in the future. Maybe that's the lesson we should draw from this, but anyway, it just says to go and pick up a couple of supply crates and deliver them back here. I didn't see fit to do anything particularly, what's the word, fancy to this balloon. I've just added one tractor beam to the bottom of it. I'm sort of worried that this thing might not have enough lift to pick up these crates, depending on how heavy they are, but I've got to assume this mission is mostly designed around you potentially just reusing this balloon rather than having to instantly come up with a new design. So on that logic, that is how we are proceeding, and look, not really a spoiler, but we sort of went alright with it for a while. It actually has a bit more lift than I was prepared to give it credit for. And we're going to confirm that now as we come in gently to pick up this first supply crate. We're kind of allowing for the fact that the crate will weigh us down a bit. And we've inflated, and yep, picked it up nice and easy. So that's 1 down, 2 to go. I wonder what could possibly go. Oh wait, too late. Yeah, alright, I've jinxed it. Wow, didn't have to get real close to that one for that to deliver the crate for me. That's good news. I'm starting to notice my fuel gauge a bit more, and the fact that we are a lot further between refills here, because we're not, in combat beating things up or traveling from point to point, and these refuel things seem to be quite far apart. So I've just grabbed that one just to top my fuel off, because I know that there's a bit of a journey down to this one. And then I get down there and find there's balloon holding one just above where this crate is. So I needn't have bothered with that side trap, apparently. Now, I'm feeling a bit of time pressure here, because I can see those shielded hooers over there, and they seem to be creeping closer and closer and closer. And that's distracting me a little bit, and I completely make a mess of trying to pick this thing up efficiently, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it all goes pear-shaped. We take a bucket load of damage. Luckily, we've lost probably as much mass as we did buoyancy, or air tanks, I should say. So we're still able to rise quite efficiently there, as it turned out. This thing was very imbalanced, though. I was not going to be able to fly it back to land without using one of my repair tokens to make it usable. So that's what we've done. painfully aware, like fuel, that repair tokens are going to be pretty hard to come by at the moment. So having to use that one, it was either that or I was going to spend a long time limping over to a rock to try and do a free repair, and I didn't fancy that. So we're back in action. That other crate is, for argument's sake, pretty inaccessible at the moment. We literally can't take the hits from those Botnaks, so we're going to have to leave that one for a little bit. But while I still had my balloon and I'm still in the exploration mode, I thought, yep, I'll come over and I'll see what the deal is with this third supply crate. Yeah, there's no Botnaks here or anything. There is a lot of me being extremely uncoordinated, flying around trying to pick this thing up, and yeah, it was pretty bad. I mean, this session was close to an hour and 20 minutes, and I think we're not even halfway through based on what I've looked at footage-wise. So yeah, there's more. We'll say there's more trials and tribulations yet to come. Alright, that's the second crate delivered. Now we need... Yeah, we're going to have to pull our creative finger out here and come up with some sort of a, yeah, nightmare. You can see there's a few little exclamation marks there. I'm still working out what I accidentally disconnected when I started making these improvements, but it's alright. We do get this sorted out here in a moment. What we've done on the bottom of this is kind of scary. We're essentially set up the familiar 3 grenade launcher arrangement on the bottom. I figured this airship is pretty squishy, so if we can get a lot of damage out quite efficiently, that's going to save us taking a lot of damage, and hopefully that's how we're going to win out against you know, these nasty little shielded Botnaks, because there's 3 of them and they do kind of hit pretty hard. Now, this little sort of shield arrangement, essentially there's 4 shield units on the turret itself, so they rotate with the grenade launchers, and then I've got a separate one on the front and on the back, and of course they're all angled down because, yeah, guess what? I'm going to be attacking them from above. Now, this all seemed like a really amazing and completely bulletproof setup, except it has a fatal flaw. Sorry, did I say a fatal flaw? Yeah, no, it's got a lot more than one. So, the first and most obvious one is that with these grenade launchers mounted on the bottom of the gondola there, they have a lot of recoil and they make me rock everywhere. Now, that's in itself isn't a huge issue because the grenade launcher takes a while to reload and we can kind of stabilise while we're waiting for that to reload, so that's okay. The amount of shields we have is, as you saw from that volley, completely justified. No, the problem we've got here is with that aiming servo. Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is there, but it was not responding to my mouse pretty much at all. Now, I may have messed up the controls for it, but I honestly have never had to do anything with these aiming servos. They normally just work off your mouse movement by default, and I usually don't need to do anything to make them, you know, do anything any different to that. So I'm spending this entire little outing wrestling with the fact that the aiming servo was just not behaving whatsoever. And because it wasn't behaving at all, I needed to try and put myself in a position where I had a better chance of trying to get a lock. Now, it was working whenever I was sort of on the same level like this, but I didn't really design this balloon to be on the same level as these guys, because they can shoot me from the side, and as you can see, we've already taken enough damage that I'm now concerned I'm not going to be able to get away. Because if I lose one of these balloons, this thing is too heavy now. I believe I would fall like a stone, and in that situation I'd have no choice but to use another repair token, and I'm kind of keen to hang on to me repair tokens as much as I can. So we're back to this whole wrestling with the aiming servo that is just not behaving at all, in an effort to try and deal with these Botnaks. Yeah, prepare for more hilarity. Yeah, we're just gonna limp back up to base here. Well, it's not our base, but it's good enough for repair purposes. We're gonna set ourselves down and we're gonna do a big old repair for free. And we're gonna have a bit of a rethink of our whole setup here, just to try and get something that is going to work a lot better for us. And this is what we've come up with. So we haven't changed our shield configuration. We did get rid of the aiming servo, and we've replaced the grenade launchers with smart guns, on the basis that they've got a little bit less recoil. Granted, we've got 4 of them, but even the 4 of them do have a bit less combined recoil than the 3 grenade launchers, and that's, you know, kind of good. However, we've still got a bit of a verticality issue. Now, the smart guns are going to be able to lock on a bit more efficiently than the grenade launchers could, primarily because they're not on an aiming servo that's misbehaving. And then, surprise, surprise, we went back in, and because of the way we departed, we must have bugged the Botnaks into the water there, and they didn't get a chance to reset. So my big new impressive gun setup was absolutely pointless, because we just swept in, we did our little swoop in and we picked that thing up, and boom, we're out of there. So once we deliver this thing, I wonder what our next mission's going to be. Oh, okay, so I guess this is where we get to work on our transporting Botnaks arrangement. I just did a bit of a head count here, because weight, unlike with a vehicle, weight is going to be a significant problem. because these Botnaks, these Frogget seats are not light. And we ended up with, I believe there was 7 Froggits, and I ended up with, was there 7 or was there 8? Oh no, there was 8. So I ended up doing this little configuration here. So we just went with 2 extra balloons, and then I just strapped the 4 seats on the outside, and we just kind of recentered everything over the cockpit. So this actually worked pretty well. I had to mess with my center of mass a little bit with the thrusters. They needed to be nudged a bit just to help us achieve a more level flight. The imbalance in the thrusters was a lot of the reason why we were very tippy with the previous balloons. But, you know, all of this is providing us with some valuable lessons. And look, how awesome is that parking job? Hey, that's perfect. I reckon I'm worth 10 out of 10 for that parking job. And any parking job with an airship that you can walk away from is definitely a good one. So leave me a comment down below if you think I'm worthy of, 10 out of 10 for that landing. Alright, well, we're being thanked for another job well done, and we've unlocked another power core. I'm sure that's going to come in very handy in the days to come. Other things that come in handy is the end of the episode. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure you have yourself an absolutely fantastic day.